Okay, so I hope you're getting my voice. Let me share my screen. I hope you're getting my screen as well. So last class we are discussing about this storage accounts basically, right? And different types of storage accounts as well. Nothing but container, file share, queue, and table. And even we are discussed about types of redundancies. Nothing but locally geo redundant, zone redundant, right? And within this container we're having some different access levels, nothing but private, blob, and container, right, within this container itself. And we're trying to upload different files or different images like bikes, cars, and bicycles, right? And once if you upload these images for each and every of these respective access level, or whether it is an if you selecting some container, blob, or maybe some one more thing is what is the one more one, container, blob, and private, right? So here access level is nothing but we're having some private, blob, and one more thing is container basically. So private is straightforward, which you know already. So we are not able to access any private related images, or if you are providing some access level as a private. And one more thing is blob and container, so in which you are able to access these respective files. And last class if you observe one difference between this blob and container, right? So if you go with the access level as a blob, basically we are able to access the individual files. But if you're going with some container level access means, so we're able to access all the files at once, right? And if you observe uh, so if you go to Google, otherwise if you type some list files in blob storage, so go to this website. Here we have copied this rest type, right? So let us assume you're having maybe some URL something, mostly you're having some HTTPS colon, right? Your storage name maybe some ABC storage, right? Dot, if it is a blob, dot blob dot maybe some code dot windows dot net slash maybe some bikes. After that you can paste this URL, so like this it will be there basically. Okay, so whenever if you're copy pasting this rest type is equal to some container, and say c1p equal to list, right? So if you're applying this specific uh, this specific to the respective blob and container. So if you observe in the container, we are accessing all the files. Instead of calling as files, we are accessing all the images in one list, right? Or in one web page or a single page, we are able to access all these things basically. But it does not happen with the blob. Blob is just nothing but we are able to access the individual files. But whereas if you go with a container, we are able to access all the files at one go. There is a major difference between container and blob, right? And then we discussed about this I mean we are not able to access this files which is access level as a private. So for this, we need to install some software called as a Microsoft Storage Explorer. So just we need to go to Google and we need to download the respective software. Try to install this one. It is very easy to install as well. In ClassClass we have seen, right? So once if you open this specific tool, so just you can log in with your respective subscription account or subscription by using a subscription basically. So you can provide your I mean basically what I meant to say is, so this tool is required your authentication. So just go with some subscription where it is going to ask your respective email ID and password. Once if you authenticated, so automatically you are able to see your respective storage accounts, and even you need to provide some storage account name, these all these things, so that it can map it and you can see the respective different types of storage levels as well, right? So then directly you can go with some private access level where you're going to see the respective images, or even you can download it in your respective local disk, in your respective local laptops. Anything you can do once if your authentication is done with this Microsoft Storage Explorer basically, right? So these are the things basically we discussed here. So here only important point is, so just you need to get some difference between blob level access and container level access. That is the only major thing. Okay. So today we will discuss about how to create static website using storage accounts. Okay. How to create static website using storage account. So as usual, first of all, we need to log into portal.azure.com. So just we need to create resource group, and we need to create storage account with some name basically. uh, that's it. I think basically we require these two things is sufficient. Okay, so go to your respect to Azure account. Try to create some resource group. Click on create. Next tags, next review and create. Finally click on create. Then here you can type some storage accounts. Click on the storage accounts. Click on create. So select the resource group. What are the resource group which are created? Nothing but Azure test. Storage account name. Maybe some ABC storage account. Something like this. Already taken. ACC. Okay. So it should be unique basically. Just you can copy. Go with local redundant. Next, advanced. Next, networking. Next, data production. Next, tags. Next, review and create. And finally click on create. Okay, so it is created. Sorry. So go to the storage accounts. There it is. Click on it. So go to data management option, right? So here go to static website. Click on enable. So if you observe here, it is a disable, right? So just click on enable. So index.html file, index.html file. Basically, if you observe, this is nothing but a HTML. It is a somewhat HTML. I think most of you, at least you are aware about this HTML. Basically, here it is a hypertext markup language. So mostly by using this HTML technology or by using this HTML course, we are able to develop some static pages, or we can say that static website basically. Okay, so static is different and dynamic is different basically. Okay, dynamic means like a Gmail or even this Azure cloud account. These are nothing but a dynamic, basically dynamic sites or dynamic websites, what I mean to say. Okay, so difference is basically, if you observe the static website and dynamic website basically, right? Dynamic means it should be having maybe some database operation, some database authentication, what I mean to say. If that is the case, so simply we can say that it is a dynamic website. Okay, so some static website is there, so maybe so many static websites will be there, so basically, so which is not having any database operation. So it does not have any database operation, this does not have any authentication, something like that. So simply if you go for some real estate website basically, right? So just they want to showcase what they're doing basically, that's it. Apart from that, it doesn't have any login or something like that. So just it is only for display purpose. So that type of sites what we're calling as a static. So dynamic, so I have given enough examples basically. Okay, so if something is having some database operation, so simply can remember it as a it is a dynamic website. Rest of the sites comes under static website basically. Okay, so if you observe Gmail, if you're providing some your Gmail and respect to password, if password is mismatched, so definitely you're getting some user friendly message. So there is nothing but a just it is checking whether the password, what are the password which you have provided, whether it is matching or not with your previous password. So while creating your account, right, definitely you're going to provide some password. So now if you are trying to log into your Gmail account, so that whatever the password which you are given while creating of your Gmail account, so it is authenticating your whatever the password which you have provided whenever if you're trying to log into Gmail. So it is cross checking whether this password is matching with while creating of your Gmail account. If it is matching, then only it is providing some inbox space, otherwise it is providing some user friendly message, password mismatch, so or email and password is not matched, some message they're displaying. So because this is database operation, so within the database they already stored your enough information of your details basically while creation of your Gmail account basically, right? So these types of functionalities or these types of application is included in database operation. So that is the reason this type of websites what we are calling as a dynamic. Simple. Okay, so basically we're going with a static site which does not have any database operation simply. Okay, so most of the static websites they're designing with some HTML CSS. So this, by using this HTML CSS itself, we can develop some static website. These two technologies are sufficient basically. Okay, so here currently as I mentioned you here basically how to create, I mean, or how to create static website. Already the static website, this specific code I already having. So just by using some storage account, we are trying to create some static website. That's it. Okay. So just you can remember that by using this HTML CSS, so these two technologies is sufficient to design some static website. That's it. Okay. At this point of time, click on save. Now go to data storage, go to containers. See here, basically if you whenever if you click on these containers, so basically we're having only default as a logs, but we don't have web. So whenever if I click on save, so if you go to the static website, what I have done, just I have enabled, I have given some index.html and index.html, right? So then only you're able to get this option as a web basically. Okay, click on this web and try to change this access level, change access level. So basically this website need to access public, right? Once if it is a public, then only it was able to access by anybody, otherwise it was not able to access. So that is the reason just I'm changing this access level to maybe you can go with some container. Click on OK. So then click on this upload option. So select your files. So here already having some static website files I'm having, just I'm uploading these same things here basically. Okay, go to where I'm having, let me cross check it is. So these are the files I'm having, just I'm selecting all, just click on open, click on upload. So you can check this option if already some file exists, right? It is going to override it basically, right? Currently we does not have any files in this respect to web option. So if already some files is there in this web option, let us assume, so that files is going to be override if whenever if you're clicking on, or whenever if you check this respect to checkbox. Okay, so currently I'm not checking that. Click on upload. So just it is uploaded. So once if it is uploaded, right, go to your respective storage, go to static website, I mean within this data management, go to static website. So copy this primary endpoint URL, just paste it here, click on enter here. So this is nothing but a static website. Just whatever the static website which you are having, right? So just we have uploaded that respective static website into storage accounts. That's it. Okay, so if you observe these files which is already I have created, that's it. So this is, if you observe, this is nothing but a CSS file, this is nothing but HTML file, this is also HTML file, right? So these files just I already created, just I have uploaded into storage accounts. So just to show you how to upload existing static website into the storage accounts here basically. So just I have given something, this is nothing but somewhat a small game basically. Okay, try again, wrong, correct. Okay, some static website. Wrong. wrong, 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 correct. So something like this basically. Okay. So you don't need to worry about this piece of codes basically. So just visualize that you already having some static website. So how can we upload the static website to storage account? This is the way basically. Okay. So any doubts? Any of you? So Vidya, Ramesh, Jagdish, Sujit, Narasimha.
Wonderful. And no doubts.
So go to the storage accounts. So you can go with some geo replication, right? So basically, what is this geo replication? Same data need to be available in multiple data centers, right? So as we discussed some definition point of view, if you observe here, geo replication or geo redundant, so the data is going to store into two different data centers in the same region basically, right? So if you observe currently it is only east US. So if you want you can make it into two locations. So that is, go to settings and go to configurations. So here somewhere, kind performance replication, right? So go with geo redundant storage, click on save, right? So once if you've done it, basically if you go to this geo replication, so now it is available in two locations. This is nothing but a primary data center and this is nothing but a secondary data center, right? If same application, if you want to otherwise this just we have uploaded some static website, right? Same application, if you want to replicate into multiple data centers, this is the small changes, small settings we need to do basically. So just go to configuration. Within this configuration, right, so just go to this replication and you can select this geo basically. So then it will be available the same application to two different data centers of the same region basically. This is one small concept basically. So any doubts? And just today I'm stopping here basically. But before stopping, so if you're having any doubts, not only this session or even some previous sessions, anything, you can ask me now basically. So basically, this if you we are done with the storage accounts. So whenever once if you're done with this, basically not only this class in my previous classes as well. So whenever I have done with this static website, so I'm going to ask you any doubts till now, what are the sessions or what are the concepts till now we have done, right? So we have done with some multiple concepts. So overall on all of these respective concepts, if you're having any doubts, so you can ask it now live basically. Not only storage accounts, what are the concepts which I have done? Any of you, or if you have practiced something, right? If you are stuck in somewhere, or if you are not able to create something, that thing also you can share your screen, or you can ask me now. Anything is required, or you're stuck in somewhere. Not yet. Okay, just I'm stopping.